That moment when you're editing a chapter and you fall asleep. That was me yesterday. Please remember to vote and comment. Votes make the world go round, you know. Do you want the world to stop spinning? Do you? Nah, I'm kidding. Please enjoy. Tilda degree tilde. Part 1. Oh shoot, Midoriya says to himself, face palming. He's seated in his expensive car on the way to meet Iida at the TV production set. He started going there because a studio decided to adapt one of his novel series, My Monster Academia, into a TV series, and he's the one writing the script, so it's adapted properly. It's a good thing he's a professional script writer, or they may have paid someone else to do it, and he isn't about to let that happen, which means he's being paid more than he already is for being the author. He may have been a bit too happy to tell them that. Hey, he's proud of his writing ability. He didn't earn the title, #1 writer, for twiddling his thumbs. He has a reputation to uphold. Speaking of his reputation, it may get a slight dent in it because he forgot his laptop somehow. That's where he saved everything, and it's easier to work on than his phone. I can't go without it, I'll be a laughing stock. He panics, even though that's more than just a little bit exaggerated. They probably won't care too much since they really respect him and are aware he's still human and humans make mistakes. Of course, he's clearly forgetting this. Is everything alright, Midoriya? Asks his chauffeur and bodyguard, Masharao Ojiro, as he looks at his boss from the rearview mirror. They've known each for a long time, so there are no formalities needed on his part. Sorry, Ojiro, do you mind turning around? The greenette asks sheepishly. I forgot something at the penthouse. Ojiro chuckles, it's cool, I don't think we're too far. What? Did you forget your laptop or something? He means it as a joke, but when Midoriya eyes dart to the side in shame, Ojiro sighs. Seriously, you forgot the one thing you needed most. I was in a rush. Give me a break. Sure thing. The blonde man chuckles like he doesn't believe him. This earns him a pout from the writer. Just drive back, please. Ojiro chuckles again, but this time complies. Luckily they aren't in traffic or anything, so he turns the car around smoothly. As he drives back, Midoriya calls Melissa. Hey, yeah, it's me, sorry, but could you go into my suite and get my laptop? Yes, I forgot it. Yes, I know that. It just happened. Okay. Are you laughing? Really? Just get me laptop, please. He says just as his irritated eyes snap to a snorting Ojiro. And you better not start. You're the boss, man. He continues chuckling despite the warning, much to Midoriya's chagrin. Tilda degree tilde. Meanwhile, later that Sunday, Tokiyami, Asui and Toga arrive at the famous UA penthouse building. It's pretty far from where they live, but still close enough to access by train. And once they get off the train, it's just a quick car ride to this area. Promoted stories. You'll also like My Hero Academia 180 Degrees Izixocha Deku 2.2K63 Izuku. Midoriya faces his darkest day as no one truly believes in him. Even All Might, his greatest inspiration, urges him to be more realistic about his dreams. Disparate. Life is simple. Love is not. Izuku x Maruko, 138K 3.6K. Completed adult quirkless Izuku O. Rumi gets assigned a government liaison to help with her hero work. The problem is Rumi never wanted a partner in the first P. Just feeling better 102K 2.5K after. A long break, Izuku returns changed and feeling better than ever. What will the class think of their cinnamon roll? This story goes through, in short, of his Chan. Infamous child Iswocha fanfic 15.2K 548 quirkless. Oh, Book 2 started. April 12, 2023 ended. March 2nd, 2025. Both Midoriya and Uraraka will face something they aren't ready for, a family and become parents. Toget. Prove them wrong. 271K 7.4K heart. Izuku Midoriya's world comes crumbling down. He's all alone in a world with no one to care for him. He ends up in the streets. When he disappears, his childhood. BNHA. The paths he chooses. Book 1. A Fate. A Few. 150K 2.6 Kits. A normal day for Izuku as he completes his normal routine and goes to school. Along the way he runs into Yui Kodai, a quiet and mysterious girl of Class 1B, the E. Three little words. 4K36. Izuku Midoriya has had a crush on his ex-friend Katsuki Bakugo since they were little. He has always looked up to him and loved everything about him. He wants to tell Kay. And this specific area is definitely for the rich and famous. The stores, restaurants, houses, even the park is fancy as hell. But nothing, absolutely nothing compared to this skyscraper of a penthouse is incredible. The two girls can already tell that only famous people live here. While they're both lost admiring the building's exterior, Tokiyami, who's already used to this place as he visits often, just turns to them. You ready to go in? He asks calmly, ignoring Toga's rambling about how much it'll cost to live here and taking quick selfies. Since her friend is clearly distracted, Asui answers. Yeah, let's go in after all, we didn't come here to stand outside. With a nod Tokiyami and an, alright, from Toga, the three finally make their way inside after the guards standing outside acknowledge the DJ and his company. When they enter the lobby, the interior design and decorations is way better than the outside, to be expected of course. Toga takes a few pictures and selfies, immediately getting strange looks from people. Asui notices this and looks towards the counter where a sign clearly says, no picture taking without consent. The brunette sighs and pulls on one of the taller girl's cheeks. She whines and stops taking pictures for a moment. Owie, what? The blonde pouts, clearly confused at what she did to deserve that. Asui just points at the sign and Toga understands. Oh, excuse me, miss. A lady in her late 20s, wearing uniform suddenly appears beside Toga, startling her. She has a very strained smile as she asks, do you mind deleting the pictures you just took? Here at UA Penthouse, the privacy of our residence is very important. I'm not gonna post them, I swear. Toga tries to reason but the lady isn't having it. Please delete them now or you'll have to leave. Her harsh tone contradicts her professional smile. Toga gulps and starts to delete them as the staff member observes. While this is happening, Tokiyami goes to the front desk to request a call to the suit they're going to and Asui looks around the lobby, thinking over her plan as she waits. I hope I can pull it off, she ponders. They are famous after all, they could still get their way. It's a good thing I have Fumikage on my side, but will he be enough? She decides to take a seat by the elevator while she waits. She brings out the novel, The Chronicles of a Frog and a Crow, and starts reading it. A random black and white cat walks by her and she takes a moment to wonder where it came from before brushing it off as probably being a pet to someone who lives here. Just as she returns to Reading, the elevator doors open and someone rushes out. They sound like they're muttering to themselves about needing to hurry, which piques Asui's interest again. She decides to look up for a moment and as she does, she's more than a little surprised to see Izuku Midoriya. The Izuku Midoriya, not that him, living in this place surprises her, but just seeing him in person while reading one of his books is crazy. Before she can think more on this somewhat bizarre situation, her quick brain notices the accident about to happen. The world-renowned writer, clearly holding a very expensive laptop, which probably has important data in it, is about to trip over the cat from earlier. And well, once he does, in a very comical fashion, his laptop goes flying into the air like a frisbee and he collides with the ground. Oh no, my laptop. He screams, looking helplessly between the cat that might be injured and his poor laptop flying through the air. Fortunately, Suyu's faster than that. She takes her novel and chucks it with all her strength, keeping it in the air for a moment longer as she screams out to her blonde friend. Himiko, laptop 10 o'clock. The other girl, who was making her way to Asui, immediately directs her eyes to the laptop about to fall to the far west of her. She immediately leaps into action, pushing people aside before catching the laptop in both hands before it hits the marble floor. Almost losing her balance, she manages to stand straight and sighs. She stares at the green laptop curiously, wondering where it came from, but then remembers her friend that called out to her in the first place. She looks ahead to see Asui helping out. Is that Izuku Midoriya? She blurts out unintentionally. Tokiyami immediately comes over to the girl at the sound of the name. He also looks ahead to see Asui talking to Midoriya as she picks up the cat and hands it to the desk attendant who came to check on the fallen writer. He looks back to Himiko to see the laptop and then on the floor ahead to see the book on the floor, that was obviously thrown by Asui. She always thinks on her feet. It's a good thing this is hardcover. He sighs and picks it up, trying to fix the dent that had been made on contact. Him and Himiko then casually make their way to the green-haired duo. Oh, I see, you're Tokiyami's childhood friend Suyu Asui, right? He smiles as she nods. Yes, that's me, but you can just call me Suyu. Alright, thanks again for your help, Suyu. The turn to look at the other two and Midoriya beams when he sees his laptop. Oh, thank you so much. He says as Himiko hands it to him. He quickly switches it on and sighs in relief when it's still working. You have no idea what you've done for me. I might have backed up my stuff, but this laptop is really important to me. So thanks. No problem. Toga smiles and replies. Hey Midoriya, you okay? Tokiyami says as he handed Asui's book back to her. Oh hey Tokiyami, it's been a while, but yeah, I'm good. It was just a cat. It belongs to Shinso. It must have wandered down here somehow. He says, I didn't even see it. I'm just glad it's not hurt. Yeah, well, it's good that you're not hurt too. Speaking of which, didn't you have somewhere to be today? Oh yeah, I had to go to the studio. He pauses as realization dawns on him. Shit, I'm late. I forgot my laptop, so that's why I came back. I asked Melissa to give it to me, but anyway, I can't talk right now. I need to go. It was nice seeing you again, Tokiyami. We'll chat later, K. He turns to Asui and Toga. It was nice meeting you too, Suyu-in. Toga, the blonde says. Yes, it was nice meeting you, Suyu and Toga. Especially you, Suyu, since you're a friend of Tokiyami's. Yes, it was nice meeting you as well, Mr. Midoriya. She bows a bit, still holding her book. He notices it and grins. Oh wait, that's one of my novels, right? The Chronicles, huh, this takes me way back. Here, I'll sign it for you. He offers this as he realizes he doesn't have a pen. Although, Asui does, so he quickly signs it. She doesn't show it, but she's absolutely ecstatic this is all happening. With a calm face, she thanks him. No problem. It's the least I can do. You saved me back there. Actually, if you need anything else, just ask. He says, but soon realizes, doing a lot of realizes, aren't we? That he seriously needs to go. Uh, just ask Tokiyami to tell me by now. Have fun with whatever you're doing. And without another word, the man sprints out at the speed of light and his car leaves just as fast, if not faster. The three young adults stare at the entrance for a moment before looking back at each other. So, that was a thing. Toga says, yeah, so, you've finally met him. He's definitely a lot more goofy in person, the blonde girl chuckles. And super handsome too, but not as handsome as Katsuki Bakugo though, but I can see why Choco Choco likes him. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen him. Tokiyami says. He's definitely a lot happier. The blonde looks to him. Nothing. The male brushes it off and turns to Asui. Hey, you ready? Asui stares at her novel that was signed by one of the people that brought them into this situation. She thinks back to the Greenit's words before he left. We can ask him for a favor, huh? Asui says, gaining curious looks from her friends. I think I know exactly how to get back at those guys. Let's go meet them, Tokiyami. Her childhood friend exchange looks with her high school friend before nodding right. Right, let's go, he says as they walk to the elevator. What is she planning? Tilda. When they finally arrived in Ishido's suit, Tokiyami isn't expecting the sequence of events that take place, to say the least. It happens so quickly and smoothly, it leaves everyone speechless, especially Ishido. It simply begins with them arriving at the Pinkett suit and Toga immediately fangirling over every single person present and literally almost faints when she sees Bakugo. Suddenly, she doesn't care about the rest of them and excitedly introduces herself to the special effects artist. Hello Tilda, I'm Hamiko Toga. I've been following you for 4 years now on Instagram and you recently started following me on Instagram 2 days ago, which is awesome. She says the long introduction as she sits next to him, not bothering to ask. I'm your biggest fan and it's really nice to meet you. He looks her up and down subtly and calmly replies, likewise. Toga holds back a squeal at his response and fishes her bag for something before revealing a pastry box. You posted once how you like these, so I thought I'd buy you some. Bakugo's crimson eyes widen slightly at the gift and he stares at it for a moment before turning to face the girl properly. He takes the box and opens it, greeted with freshly made cream buns. He looks back at her with a slight raised eyebrow. You bought these for me? Yup, she nods. He turns back to the box and nods with an approving face. Cool, thanks. The others, namely Hiroshima, Ishido, Kaminari, Jiro, Ciro and Melissa, just stare at what's happening before them. Why is he so calm? They simultaneously wonder. And this isn't even the craziest part of everything. After the rather strange yet kinda cute exchange between the Toga and Bakugo, Asui finally introduces herself. I'm Suyu Asui, she says, bowing. But please call me Suyu. Thanks for inviting me over today. It's nice to meet you to finally you Suyu and Hamiko. Ishido turns away from the two conversing on the couch. They sure got acquainted fast, and looks towards Asui. She smiles brightly and makes her way over to her. I'm glad you both could make it. I'm professional dancer Ishido Mina. This is the gang new. I'm sure you know who the others are. Please take a seat and have some snacks. We'd love to get to know the both of you. I'm sure you would, Asui simply says, walking past her. But before that, why don't we discuss why we're really here? Huh, the Pinkett raises a nervous eyebrow. What do you mean? Playing dumb are we? The brunette asks as she takes a seat. She then looks up with cold eyes. That won't do at all. You need to be setting a better example, aren't you? So why don't you tell the truth? Ishido and the other celebrities, excluding Bakugo who just stares at the Asui curiously while enjoying his cream buns, tense at the girl's accusing gaze. Or should I tell Mr. Midoriya how you've been doing all this behind his back? Asui asks. The older adults stiffen at her words. Wait, Midoriya. Ishido panics. What are you talking about? Well, I was lucky enough to meet him today and accidentally got him to be in mine and Hamiko's debt. So I could easily just tell him how you followed us on Instagram for no reason and used Fumikage just so you could get us to tell you stuff about our friend aka the girl he's become acquainted with. I'm sure he won't be happy about that, Asui says all too calmly and confidently. Tokiyami can't even begin to comprehend how she managed to turn the tables on them so quickly. So that's what she meant earlier. And the crazy thing is, she could totally pull it off because she's not easily shaken and there's no way they could blackmail her in front of him. Plus, the whole situation is kinda ridiculous anyway, so they can't really do much to defend themselves. Regardless, Ashido still fights. No way, I don't believe you. How do you intend on telling him all this to Midoriya? He doesn't just give his contact details to anyone. Plus, even if he did, he's usually busy anyway. Who said I needed his contact details? That's what my dear Fumikage's for. He'll be sure to inform Mr. Midoriya about everything, right? The young DJ swears his heart skips a beat when she calls him dear, but ignores it. Yeah, I will. What? I thought you were on our side, man. Zero complains. Yeah, like I'd let my friend get used. Tokiyami says in irritation. And screw you guys for lying to me. What was even the point of following them on Instagram if you were just gonna ask me? You just made yourselves look suspicious. Hey, we just wanted to make sure they'd trust us. Kaminari argues, but now that I'm thinking about it, it was kinda dumb. Well, I'm glad you think so because it was your idea. Jiro snaps. Oh, so it's my fault. As the musician couple start bickering, Bakugo speaks up after finishing his last cream bun. So what exactly do you want then? He asks as he glanced at the greenette, getting everyone's attention. If you've got the fucking guts to blackmail us, then you want something right. What the hell is it? Asui smiles slightly, placing her index finger on her bottom lip. You guys wanna know about Ochako, right? Well, we'll tell everything you need to know but only if you cooperate with my plan. The group of adults look amongst themselves before Kirishima asks. What's your plan? I want to see the chemistry between these two, Asui explains. I want to know if their feelings for each other are genuine. I need your help for that. Can I count on all of you? It's risking. Trusting a sharp girl like her who has serious blackmail material may not be the best idea, but they don't have choice. So, as if surrendering to a great foe, Ashido sighs heavily in defeat. Alright, you win, we'll help you out. She knows she can't win. Damn it, how did we go from having the upper hand to being blackmailed by a high school student? Ashido wonders to herself. Still, she smirks. She's pretty interesting. Yay tilde. We get to spend more time with each other tilde. Toga cheers as she gazes at Bakugo, a heavy blush on her cheeks. I'll buy you cream bun next time too, okay? The man raises an eyebrow at her. What a strange girl, he thinks to himself, slightly amused. Although, he doesn't show. Good, Asui says, an air of superiority suddenly surrounding her. Now let's discuss the plan, shall we? Degree, tilde. Uraraka collapses onto her bed, exhausted from helping her parents with work. She reaches for her phone and stares at it yesterday. Midoriya texted her and said he'll be busy for few days and they won't be able to meet up. This honestly made her sad. Well, at least she can spend time with Asui and Toga. It's been a while since they all hung out together, plus they need to study for finals. She goes on to Google to search up past papers they can look through, when she comes across the web news. She usually never bothers to look at it, but because she's bored, she decides to skim through it, and that's when she sees something shocking. Popular novel series My Monster Academia is getting an adaptation with the script and screenplay written by number one writer and author himself. She blinks as her eyes widen in shock. Her eyes are playing tricks on her, right? They have to be. Izuku Midoriya. Tilda degree tilde. This is ridiculous. I had to split the chapter again xdo well. Build up is important, right? I really want everything to happen naturally and it doesn't change the narrative, so yeah. See you in the next and hopefully last chapter of part 1. Please vote and comment. More votes equals more motivation. I sound desperate XD. I hope you enjoyed. Tilda Destiny style anime. Where stories live. Discover now.